my reading, woman. I'm gonna come down from the mountain, gonna get me a library card. 'Cause I'm a mountain man. I'm a mountain man. I'm a mountain man. Lord knows that I am. I'm a mountain man. I'm a mountain man. I'm a mountain man. Lord knows I am. Gonna come down from the mountain. Gonna beat you at Scrabble, woman.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Women's Northern Footy Show. We have a super exciting show coming up for you all, and we're joined by Liv today. Liv, you decided to join us after COVID.
Yes, I know you all miss me so much and my beautiful voice. So I'm back and I'm here. I'm ready to go. So very exciting stuff tonight. We've got some awesome guests joining us from Whittlesea. We've got Hayley and Stevie.
We sure do. Welcome to the show.
Hey, ladies. How are we?
Thanks a lot.
Good. Thank you so much for joining us. Before we get into a bit of an introduction into who you both are and how you got into footy and all that fun stuff, Liv, we need to hear from you. Tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us what you are in the footy world.
So I've been playing footy for maybe like 13 years now. So I started under 10s with my brother. Played boys footy up until I was 14, and I've played TAC Cup, rep footy, all that kind of stuff. But now I gave it a miss last year. I played one game and now I saw Thomastown start a team. So I thought, why not give it another red hot crack? So here I am playing footy again. I love it.
And now you've turned media personnel as well.
Media personnel, you can thank Darren Comp for that. He's dragged me right into it, and he knew that I loved the limelight so much. He decided to give me my own time to shine. So silly Darren, but he'll learn.
I love it. I'm very excited to have you as my co-host. Now we have to get into our two awesome guests. As we said, we're really happy to have them on the show. We'll start with you, Hayley. Hayley, you played your 100 games yesterday. Congratulations. How did it all start?
Similar to Liv, actually, listening to Liv's story. I played with the boys back in 1997, under 11s. But back then there wasn't really a path to go any further. Whittlesea did try and fight the league to get an exemption and all that sort of thing. But by then, I was starting high school, and the boys were turning into men with the under 13. So it just wasn't the right fit. And then there wasn't a lot of other teams locally that could play with the women. So it was basically, I think, just Diamond Creek and then the rest of Victoria. So I had to give that a miss and thought that was it for footy. And then 2 decades later, I thought, I really need to give it another crack, and started at South Moraine. Didn't know anyone. Was absolutely shitting myself for the training session, but the girls and the coaches were great. So stayed with them for at least 50, 60 games. And then similar to Liv, heard that the Eagles were starting up a women's team, and I thought, I need to go back to where I started and get to play on their home ground, which I didn't get to when I was in the juniors. So, and then obviously with the COVID seasons hitting, it delayed it a bit longer, but we got there in the end.
You made it to 100.
Finally got there.
Finally got there. That's a great story. Stevie, what about you? How did it all start for yourself?
I actually, I was working with somebody that was sponsoring. So I just started that, and that was 17 years ago.
Wow, that's a long time.
Played 150, I think, last season with Whittlesea. So
I've got a lot of experience in the live stream tonight.
We've got so much experience, and I'm not one of them.
No.
I'm just here to steer the ship. I have not played a game of football in my life. So
it's not too late, Kira. It's not too late.
No, it's not going to happen.
Right. I started again at 30.
No, love talking about it. Love watching
Kira.
No. I'm here to talk to everyone that has great experience and loves the game and can tell me all about it. I'm not one that's going to run out on the field ever, but that's okay. How did you both go on the weekend? I know you three versed each other, which we'll get into a little later on when we review the games, but how did it go?
Oh, look, it was a wet, tough game, I think, for all three of us, really.
Yep. The white shorts are not white anymore. But you know what? Like, it's really great. Our game yesterday, you know, the scoreboard was not a true reflection, I believe. It was, I reckon both of our teams were both so hard at the ball. That was definitely the most physical game and demanding game I played this year so far. Everyone put in 100% and there was no stone left unturned. As you would see from Whittlesea, as there's been a girl that's hurt herself pretty bad. You know, that's from just going hard at it, giving her all.
That is why I could never play football, because the thought of breaking my fibia and my tibia and dislocating my ankle makes me, no, thank you. But I'm glad it was a hard-fought game. Now, a little bit of a fun one. We're going to start this week and continue it on every week going forward for all our guests. Liv, you can join in too, I think, because we need to get to know about your football as well. I'm going to ask you all three a question. I need to know your pre-match ritual or a superstition that you have. Who wants to go first? Liv, you can go first.
All right. So it used to be eating a protein bar while I warmed up, but then I actually broke it 2 weeks ago because I forgot a protein bar. So I had to stop and get Subway on the way. So now I've just got Subway the last 2 weeks. So I'm thinking, do I go back to protein bar? I'll just go with Subway. So I'm sticking with Subway, ham and salad sub.
I think Subway's working for you.
Yeah, I think just.
What about you, Stevie? Any pre-match ritual?
Not really. I'm normally working on a Sunday before the game. So there's just me up at 2:00 in the morning before work, before the game. So
that is an intense pre-match ritual. What do you do for work?
I'm a baker.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. In the bakery, baking, and then go play a game of football.
That's it. It's the way to do it these days.
Dedication. What about you, Hayley?
I'm similar to Stevie, but I'm not up at 2:00 in the morning. I'm only up at 6:30 in the morning, but I go to work before footy as well, except I'm not baking. I'm playing with puppies and looking after them at Guide Dogs Victoria.
That's amazing.
So, yeah, usually my back's pretty sore before I even start the game, lifting and carrying the puppies around. But I do remember one of my coaches at South Morang when I started there always used to say to me to try not to fire yourself up too early because you'll lose all your adrenaline before you get to the actual game. So usually I'm the one in the rooms that's pretty calm and quiet and a bit reserved, and everyone else is pumping everyone up, which is totally fine. But I've always had that in the back of my mind. Don't pump yourself up too early because then by the time you enter the field, you're absolutely buggered because all your adrenaline's gone.
She's there.
Exactly. You do get the odd dance move every now and again, but you really got to watch for it.
That's so funny. Are you like that, Stevie? Are you one of the ones that are pumping everyone up, or are you quiet and laid back?
No, I come in about maybe half an hour, 45 minutes before the game, trying to get ready, get strapped, and then try and get myself ready to go by the time the game starts.
Love it. Our next one, favourite AFL or AFLW player, past or present? So it can be from your childhood or now. Liv?
Oh, I'm a bit biased because I love Collingwood. I've got to go Bruzzy, Braden Maynard. I just love the way he plays. I love a bit of a fend off and a bit of a push and shove sometimes. So probably Bruzzy.
Love it. Stevie?
When I was growing up, it was actually Jason Dunstall.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great player.
Dad used to follow Hawthorn, so yeah, that was my look up person. But now I would say Dusty, so
love it. Two superstars. Hayley?
Yeah, I had a few growing up. A couple of them were just purely on their looks because they were good looking, which was Tony Modra and Mark Johnson. I like them. But I also like the in and under ones like, Maynard from Collingwood and Dusty and back in the day, Damien Hardwick, the rough nuts. So, yeah, some of it's based on looks and some of it's based on how tough they play.
Based on football ability. Love it.
Yeah.
Looks overrated, but that's just my
Yeah,
opinion.
definitely.
Oh, too funny. Daz will be loving this conversation. Most memorable match of your career? Liv?
Oh, most memorable match.
It can be for any reason. Something funny, good win. I'm going to take a guess that Hayley's might be yesterday.
I'm going to throw my brother under the bus here, but well, I remember I used to play with my brother, and this boy, we were playing a practice match, and this boy from the other team kept saying to our players, I'm gonna punch that girl. And my brother got really upset. He was like, stuff this bloke. Can't swear on here. He's like, stuff this bloke. And remember, like, we were only 11 and 12 years old, and then this boy got into me and he punched me in the stomach. So then my brother came in and hip and shouldered him and got carded. And my brother got upset because, you know, he goes, oh, I did the wrong thing. But that's definitely my most memorable thing because, you know, I look at him now and he's this 6'6" giant. And I'm like, oh, imagine him doing that to me now, like backing me up like that.
That's a very good story. That's a cute one. Stevie?
I've got a couple, but
you can go with a couple.
Maybe in the last couple of years, I got my first ever yellow card.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What happened?
I took out maybe 7 players.
Oh.
Yeah, including a couple of my own. I was playing for another team at the time. But, yeah, I got my first yellow in like that 12 years. So
probably reasonable. Yeah. Would you say it was a reasonable call?
Towards the end, yes. The umpire did turn around and say that I was becoming too hard, but you know it's what happens when you go for the ball in the air. You can't exactly just stop and move aside. But my other memorable moment would be playing 150 with Aussie. So that'd be really good.
Awesome.
Yeah, mine's a bit like the bookends actually. Well, obviously yesterday was very special, and you know the club and the girls did a terrific job in making it special for me. But then it was my very first game in 1997, playing with the boys. I was playing against Greensborough at their ground, and there was a few boys that were a little bit reserved with me playing, and some others that I'd already played with at primary school and stuff like that, so they were fine. And then kicked 3 goals and won the game for them. So after that, there was no doubts at all. And I've never been able to kick any more than 3. I've always ever kicked 3. That's it. I've never got to 4. So I'll never forget that game. Yeah, never forget that game.
That's great. Now, this isn't one of our quickfire questions. Our quickfire questions are done, but we have a question for Stevie. Kiara wants you to tell us about.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
You can't go there.
It used to be she'll get the ball and I would just try and chase after her just to make sure she was safe. She was a lot younger than us. So I was always there trying to protect her. But
at least you're protecting her.
That's trying to. Can't catch her anyway. So
that's why I'm glad she's on my team and no one else's because I couldn't catch her. Even at training doing drills, I actually can't grab her. She just slides. You can't get her.
Yeah, nah, she's a good little player.
She is. She's a ripper.
We love a protector. Well, now we'll get into the results from the weekend. We'll start with the Div 3 results. There was plenty going on in Div 3 on the weekend. Panton Hill lost to South Morang 11-17. There was a draw between Epping and Diamond Creek. It was the exact same score, 2-4-16. So that was an interesting one. Heidelberg West beat North Heidelberg 26-16. And Lorimer lost to Wallen 1-60. And it was Wallen's first win of 2024. So there was a lot happening in Div 3. Does anyone have anything to add with that, or scores pretty self-explanatory?
First, we had a bye. They had a week off.
Yeah, love a week off.
Lucky buggers. We're not getting a bye in Div 3.
I was just saying that yesterday. I was saying that yesterday. I'm missing having the bye.
No bye.
Can you talk me through that? Because I have obviously never played, but watching, I have plenty of friends who play. I work at a VFL club, so I see how it gets to the weeks before a bye and everyone's just holding on for dear life until they can have a rest. How do you guys cope with not having a bye? Like, what do you actually do to save yourself?
I don't think we have got that many injuries.
So you're just like holding on, clinging for dear life, hoping it's okay.
Pretty much. We're holding on till the school holiday break and the Queen's birthday weekend, school holiday break. That's what we're holding on to. Yeah.
Yeah, so fair.
Spending a lot of time with the trainer.
Extra tape, please.
Yeah, extra rub down on the back, upper back, lower back, all the works, please.
Oh, too funny. We'll get into Div 2. You guys are the pros of Div 2, so I'll let you take it away, but I'll just share the results. So Darebin beat Greensborough 39-28. Whittlesea went down to Thomastown 8-42. Ivanhoe and West Preston Lakeside had another draw, 24, although West Preston Lakeside kicked 6 behinds to Ivanhoe's 4 straight. So that could have been a very different result if there was straight kicking. Monty went down to Lowell Plenty 14-61, and Mernda beat Fitzroy Stars 49-17. Talk me through it. You guys are the pros of this division.
Well, I just want to say, Mernda actually bet Fitzroy Stars. That's Fitzroy Stars' first loss for the season. But Fitzroy Stars only fielded 14 players on the weekend to their 18. So, huge credit to the Mernda girls for getting it done. They were undefeated, Fitzroy Stars, but,
That's a big win if they were undefeated. That's awesome.
Yeah. That's huge.
They could have had 14 last week.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Yeah. Well, they Fitzroy Stars come up with us from Div 3 to Div 2. And in the women's comp this year, Div 3 actually only play with 16 players. And so I think it's a big step up to have 18 on the field, especially if you've only got 16, 17 signed, because that's what you think you're going to be playing with all year. So it's it's tough, especially because there's so many girls playing now. Trying to get girls in your team, Hayley and Stevie would know, to recruit super hard because
I was going to say, how are Whittlesea going for numbers?
We actually started off really well. I think we had about 30 on the list, and we had a lot of new players come through, and we've still got new players coming through. We had a first gamer yesterday, which was awesome, and another one hopefully coming over either next week or the week after. But we've got a ton of injuries, and quite a few of them are long-term injuries. So we actually struggled to fill a bench last week and the week before. So Are you still welcoming new people down to the club? Yeah, absolutely. You can never have enough. You can never have enough.
Love it. Anyone that's watching that needs a club, Whittlesea would love to have you. So get in contact with them, get down. And I'm sure many other clubs are in the same boat. So if you're watching this and you're considering playing football, maybe you played a few years ago, you've never played, reach out, because lots of clubs would love to have you there. I know that.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we got struck by the sickness. We've had COVID. I had COVID last week and I was out, and then a few of the other girls have got COVID now. I didn't pass it on to them, I promise.
You sure, Liv?
Yeah, I guarantee you I didn't. But we only had 17 yesterday, and we've got 28 on our list. And injuries as well. It's so unpredictable.
Yeah, very unpredictable. Glad I'm not one of the ones getting injured, but all credit to you all. And as I said, if anyone in the comments or anyone watching the show is thinking about playing footy, definitely reach out. You girls are getting a lot of love in the comments.
And you got a lot of, Stevie, you got a couple of questions here.
Oh God.
Oh, I like this one because you said to me yesterday. No, this one first. You said to me yesterday. I don't want anyone to ask me this. I said, all right, I won't. I promise. Stevie, why are you called Cheesy?
Oh, because I used to eat a triple cheeseburger before training.
Love it.
That's your pre-game ritual.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
A triple cheeseburger before training with extra cheese. It was.
That's a lot of cheese. Do you love cheese in general?
No.
Okay. And we have another one too. What happened the first time you went for goal?
Oh, that first ever goal. I kicked it out in the full.
Oh, that's all right.
It's okay. What
We've all
happens to the
been
best
there.
of us?
It's
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, well, I was. Yeah, well, especially when you're aiming dead straight and then it goes the other
Come off
way.
the side.
So,
You know what? Harry
That's it.
Mackay does it once a
Oh,
week.
exactly.
It's
Does
fine.
it every week. Every week.
It's so fine.
I
we'll
couldn't
get-
even make the distance yesterday.
I definitely couldn't make the distance, so you're both doing better than me. We'll get into the Div 1 results. As we said last week, Div 1 is short and sharp. So Darebin beat Diamond Creek 21-14. St. Mary's beat Montmorency 28-7. They're sitting top of the table. And Banyule went down to Heidelberg 17-20. So they were all relatively competitive games. As we touched on last week, we did lose Eltham. So it's a very little comp now. What are your thoughts? Yeah, I'd love to get your thoughts on, do you think that we should see some Div 2 teams come up to try and, fill out Div 1 a little bit? Or do you think we should keep it how it is and make teams still really earn that spot in Div 1? Anyone?
yeah, I reckon. I thought the grading games would have sort of bumped up the girls, the sides into the, all the different divisions. But it's a bit hard these days, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
They dropped teams into Div 2 and to Div 3, but no one went up.
No. And now there's literally 3 games a week and they play each other every third week.
Yeah.
Like Heidelberg played Banyule Anzac Day weekend. That feels like last weekend. Now they're playing them again. So
Okay.
it's an interesting
Definitely
one, but
should they should definitely be mixing it all up. Definitely.
I think that'll be on a watch list for going into the preseason ahead of next year. We'll see what they do in terms of splitting up the divisions, because I think that's an interesting one. Does anyone have any final thoughts on the round that was?
No, I think the wet weather would have played a huge part in the score lines for Div 1 in particular.
Absolutely, yeah.
And also, with Greensborough, not having enough numbers, I would have put them in my top 3 for sure in Div 2, and I would have thought Lower Plenty or Ivanhoe in the top 3. So I thought one of those teams might have, gone up to Div 1, but things obviously changed with numbers and stuff like that. So maybe that's why they decided not to put any of those teams up, but I'm not sure. I'm not, in those teams, so I'm not sure what's happening. But I think the weather would have played a part in a few of the results. But definitely West Preston Lakeside was a good result for them. But it's a pity they couldn't get it over the line.
It's very unpredictable. It looks like they do have, more score I shots.
never
know who to tip.
No, well, I wouldn't have tipped any of that this week, I don't think.
Your tipping would have been 0.
But the wet weather footy, it's a whole different ball game,
Different.
Things you usually do. Like, I know yesterday there was a few times we tried to make these kicks happen, like on the 45 angle into the 50, and they just didn't work because they weren't the ball was heavy, girls were sliding. It was messy. Like, it was not your normal, drop punt mark. It was a lot of ground ball yesterday.
Yeah, I can imagine.
A lot of
Rudy
sore
is
bodies.
Very sore bodies, especially Stevie, who came straight from the bakery. Who do you all have this week? Who are you versing this coming weekend?
We got West Preston Lakeside, so that result intrigued us.
Yeah, I bet you won't know how to review that one and move into this week.
Not at all.
What about you, Liv?
This week we have Low Plenty.
Oh, nice.
Bears v Bears. The bear
Bear
clash.
off.
Bear off, that's right.
Bear off.
Called it the bear hunt.
The bear
We're going on the bear hunt.
Oh, too funny. I think we will wrap up last week's game by announcing our player of the week, which is presented by General Chicken Co. And I don't think we could go past Jasmine from Whittlesea. As we mentioned off the bat, she broke her fibula and tibia, dislocated her ankle. She can't even have surgery until all the swelling goes off. So we'll send you a voucher to the General Chicken Co. and hopefully that can help with recovery. I'm sure that's what the doctors say helps ankles, and
Maybe Maybe Hayley or Stevie can drive her there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have
for
a
sure.
good team bonding session.
Yeah.
Yeah, she may not get the voucher, but
It's
but I
okay.
just wanted to say, just with Jazz, it was her 50th game as well, so it was a
Yeah.
very sad way of ending the day. But yeah, she achieved a lot to get to her 50th as well. Similar story to myself. So yeah, we are thinking of Jazzy, and yeah, hopefully we can organise a visit for her in the hospital at some point soon.
Yeah, we've got lots of love coming in for Jazz in the comments as well. So from everyone at the Northern Footy Show, we're sending lots of love and we wish you all the best for your recovery. You're definitely going to have to make a few cameos on the show. You're up a lot in the coming weeks. Your recovery, you're becoming a media person. But no, I love it. Does anyone have any final comments before we wrap up the show?
I think I'm good.
Awesome. Thank you so much to everyone who joined us. We have lived back from COVID and we had 2 awesome guests. So thank you to everyone that joined us. And yeah, there's a massive show coming up Wednesday night. So make sure you
massive.
Like,
Darren told us we can't say it, but it's huge.
We can't preface how massive is. We can reveal, well, not reveal, it's already announced. This is why we can say it, that Sean Smith will be one of the guests on the show, ex-AFL player, but there's also 2 massive names that will be joining him. And yeah, this one will be one that you do not want to miss. So make sure you tune in to the Northern Footy Show Facebook on Wednesday night for an unbelievably, if I haven't said it enough, massive show. But thank you to everyone that joined us. Thank you to our 2 incredible guests and to my co-host Liv. And we'll see you all back here next week.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Abigail.